over Iraq, insurgents killed 30 people today, including 2 American soldiers. The biggest attack happened in Saddam Hussein's hometown, where a suicide bomber slammed into an Iraqi police station. As of tonight, as best we can determine, 10,740 American soldiers have been injured in Iraq.
That's 10,740 families turned upside down. One of them in Tahlequah, the Hudgens family. When Russell Hudgens learned his son Jeff had been badly injured in Iraq, he began keeping an online journal. He sent me a copy, and being a father myself, it struck a nerve. If you've ever been a father or a mother, a son or a daughter, in fact, if you've ever loved anyone, this is your story too. Every night for 2.5 months, Russell Hudgens has retreated to a tiny motel room to pour out his heart.
Sometime in our early morning, November 18th, 2004, in northwestern Iraq, Jeff was injured. We understand that his unit was involved with the detonation of improvised explosive devices, IEDs.
Jeff Hudgens was 17 and fresh out of Tahlequah High School when he signed on with the Marine Corps Reserves. In Iraq, just 2 months, that roadside bomb shattered his right hand, severed an artery beneath his left arm, and blew off the right side of his skull.
1, 2, 3.
Nicely.
Now, at 19, Jeff Hudgens is learning to walk again.
Gosh, you never think that once they learn to walk and talk, you're going to take them back through that again.
Parenting comes without guarantees,
Out to the side.
and love's protection reaches only so far. So on that night, Russell and his wife Sandra got word that Jeff had a bad head injury. Not knowing whether he was dead or alive, they pulled out the home videos so they might reach back through the years and hold tight to what used to be.
To be able to hear his voice and see him, even if it was in a younger body and a younger voice, it made me feel like he was still here with me. He was closer.
From military hospitals in Germany, Maryland, and now Tampa, Russell has been by Jeff's side, taking time away from his job as a science teacher at Tahlequah Junior High. During the day, he is Jeff's cheerleader, right there as his son covers more of the hallway than he ever had before.
I'm motivated.
Yeah, we gotta have a camera crew here every day, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
And at night, it's back to gather his thoughts in the motel room, to send out a missive to family and friends, to anyone who cares, a father's most heartfelt hopes and desperate fears.
December 11th, 2004. I know for a fact, just from looking into my son's eyes, that there's more there than some of the doctors think. I can't pretend to know how many of his former abilities Jeff will recover, but I know Jeff is still in there, and knowing what I know about him, the sky is the limit.
You ready? Scooch and stand.
Jeff says his therapy is tougher than Marine boot camp.
Since my left side is paralyzed, they always ask me to move my left side, and it's frustrating because I can't really do it that often.
There are good days and bad. Maybe you saw one of the better ones in Time magazine, that December day when the president showed up to pin a Purple Heart on Jeff's chest. And later that night, a proud father wrote,
In a moment I'll remember for the rest of my days, Jeff looked up at this man he had never met, smiled without prompting, and continued to smile as the president himself presented him with the Purple Heart. Needless to say, with 3 children, I've been afforded countless moments of fatherly pride, each dear to me in its own way, but few have touched me as did this one.
Okay, are you good there?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're great, Joe. Just visit.
No one can say with any certainty what Jeff's future holds. His doctors marvel at his progress and credit his family's remarkable support.
We certainly don't want to, squash his hopes and say, oh, that's not realistic, because we don't know for sure that it's not.
19-year-old boys have dreams. Jeff is no different.
I'm not walking out of here, I'm running. Because that is a dream of mine, to be able to run again.
Fathers dream too, of what could have been and what still might be.
It's too early to know, but he's going to do something, and I think it's going to be something special and worthwhile. It's just a question of what Jeff wants to do.
Sandra Hudgens, Jeff's mom, has been with her son since the end of January when Russell came back to Tahlequah to be with the couple's other 2 teenage children. Tonight, the entire family is together in Tampa. That head wound unit, Terry, is a sobering place. There are young boys, each of them missing one side of the skull or the other. Jeff is due to have a composite skull put in there, replace the part that he lost sometime in March. There was a senior nurse who I talked to there, and she said, you know, I go home every night crying. And my husband says, when are you going to retire and give that up? And she says, I can't. I can't retire. These are my boys.
And they need her.
And they just keep coming. And later in the newscast, I can update you on how Jeff is doing tonight. I heard from his dad, and we'll tell you how he's doing tonight.
I look forward to that. Thank you, Scott. Another Purple Heart winner is back on the home front tonight, along with 3 fellow members of the Oklahoma Air National Guard's 138th